Good morning, everybody. Today is episode 6 of the podcast Coffee with Raph. I'm Raph. This is my coffee. This is my journal. Take yours because we will do some journaling exercise today, as we do every single day. And I want to start straight away with a question, which is how is your responsibility? In 2 words, responsibility. Your ability to respond to different external things. Yesterday we took a look at some stoic wisdom and studied how it is not the event that creates a response, it's how we interpret the event, or as Epictetus, our stoic philosopher friend, puts it, our opinion that determines everything. So if the event itself was the culprit, then we would indeed all react the same way to everything, which of course is not the way it is in real life, right? So in today's morning show, we will take a look at how Osho and Jack Canfield interprets that concept of responsibility, It's very early. I'm having troubles talking right now for some reason, but some very important stuff, so don't let that distract you. We're going to be talking of our ability to respond and how this is really what determines the outcome. Let's go straight to the summary for today's episode. In part 1, we will study Osho and Jack Canfield's interpretations of responsibility. Again, in 2 words, responsibility, your ability to respond. In part 2, we will reflect, ponder, and journal about our own responsibility through some questions and some exercises that I will pose for you. Again, all those exercises you can find in those free worksheets that you can get. And then in part 3, we will do some visualization exercises, very important, as a practical demonstration of how to apply what we are learning today. So first you create the blueprint in your mind, and so that you're ready to apply everything in the material world later. In part 4, as always, we will do some empowering affirmations that I will ask you to repeat out loud, and I can't stress out loud enough. It's very important. You can write them down if you want, but please do say them out loud. It's important that you put some feeling and emotions into it. Last but not least, in part 5, we will do a guided meditation together. Today, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. I think we're going to do some mindfulness meditation, so being aware of your whole body, so that you can create this calm energy and you're ready to tackle today with grit, passion, purpose, virtue, and so on and so forth, if that's not enough. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It's only the beginning. I hope you are excited to get started. If so, please put a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're not done so already, please subscribe to the channel. And let's get started. So welcome to the podcast, everybody. This is our morning show here, where every morning we spend a few moments together every single day, well, Monday to Friday at least, to empower us in living an extraordinary life one day at a time. If this is interesting to you, please do consider subscribing to the channel. All episodes come with free worksheets so that you can follow along the exercises and the affirmations. Everything that you need to know basically is in the description to this show. In the show notes of the podcast or in the description below the video if you're watching on the YouTube. Let's get started on today's episode by reading a passage by Osho from his famous book titled The Book of Understanding, which is a really cool title for a book. No, isn't it? The Book of Understanding. Love it. He says, I quote, "The word responsibility has been used the wrong way. It gives a feeling of burden. You have to do it. It is your duty. If you don't do it, you will feel guilty. I want to remind you that the word responsibility has none of these connotations. Break the word in 2, responsibility, and you enter a totally different meaning of the word, a different direction. Responsibility simply means spontaneous response. Whatever situation arises, joyously respond to it with your totality, with your intensity. And the response will not only change the situation, it will change you." End of quote. Love this quote. Let me know in the comments how that resonates with you. And let's ask again the same question. We've been asking it 10 times, but it is so important that I'm going to ask it an 11th time. How is your responsibility? Remember how we talked about the fact that You are what you consistently do. Do you remember that episode? If not, have a watch. This is very important. You are what you consistently do. And that basically your identity equals your daily habits, right? Well, the way you respond to events, whether they are positive or challenging, is what defines your true character. Are you a victim or do you have ownership over your life? How is your character? Well, let's look at a more modern approach, and that is with Jack Canfield from his book, The Success Principles. It's a very good book. I suggest that you read it. It's in our reading list. Check out our reading list. He says, and I quote, "It is time to stop looking outside yourself for the answers to why you haven't created the life and results you want, for it is you who creates the quality of the life you lead and the results you produce. You, no one else. To achieve major success in life, to achieve those things that are most important to you, you must assume 100% responsibility for your life. Nothing less will do." End of quote. How does it feel for you to hear that passage? Does it resonate with you? Does it make sense? Is your responsibility something you should really be working on? I know it's something that I really need to be working on. So next time you are facing a challenge, remember Canfield's equation, which is E plus R equal O. We saw it yesterday in the affirmations. E plus R equal O means event plus response equal outcome, not event equal outcome. Event plus your response equal the outcome. You want to control the outcome, control your response, because you can't control the event, chances are, right? I can't control right now that I'm a bit sick, that it's the quarantine. I can control how I respond to it though. Let's move on to part 2, journals. I hope you have your journal. Let me know in the comments below, actually, I'm interested. Do you have a journal specific for this show? If so, that's so cool. And if not, that's also quite cool if you're doing it digitally also. I like to write on paper for my morning journals. The rest of the day, I do everything on an iPad digitally, right? Anyway, I digress. Let's start by rating your responsibility. This is the first thing that we're going to be doing. Rating your responsibility. In your opinion, from 0 being a complete victim to 10 being a really, really wise person and having complete ownership of your life, how would you rate your responsibility? Take a look at that number. Now write this. How can you make it better? Write the answer to that question. How can you make it better? From moving from, let's say, if you're a 3 to a 7, or from 4 to a 6, or from a 5 to a 6, right? Just a little bit better every day will make a huge impact. Finally, let's do this exercise that comes from Sonia Lyubomirsky's book, The How of Happiness. It's a really good book. Also, it's on our book list, so check out the book list and have a read, because happiness is a science. It's something that I've had to study to have a glimpse at it. But that's another subject, right? Sonia is literally a happiness scientist. It's really the science of happiness. And she offers this exercise, and I quote, pay attention. Write down your barrier thoughts. Write down your barrier thoughts. And then consider ways to reinterpret the situation. In the process, ask yourself questions like, what else could the situation or experience mean? Can anything good come from it? Does it present any opportunities for me? What lessons can I learn and apply to the future? Did I develop any strengths as a result? End of quote. All questions that are very important to answer, so answer them. They will be in your worksheets if you have them. If not, play back a little bit before answer those questions. If you need to pause the show to take more time to answer, that is perfectly fine and quite normal. So go ahead. Ready, steady, right. Okie dokie, I hope you did the exercise. Remember that doing is the most important thing that you can do for your personal growth and personal development. Don't just stand there and listen and if you're in the commute, if you're driving, at least do it a bit later, but take note of everything. Again, if you need to journal orally, that's perfectly fine also. You have a note recorder on most of the phones nowadays. So please do it. Be proactive. And this is one of the last time I'm going to say it. Only kidding. I'll say it every single day. It's very important. But anyway, let's move on to the next part of our morning routine, and that is a guided visualization, which is very important. And then we'll do our empowering affirmations, which is also very important. And finally, our guided meditation. We're going to do something for mindfulness there. These three will follow another as usual, so make sure that you're in a comfortable place, that you can sit down somewhere calm, that you won't be disturbed too much. Okay, so let's start with our visualization. And I want you to imagine that you are having a challenge in your everyday life. You probably have challenges every day. So just pick one, and it could be an event of some sort or a complicated interaction. Maybe it's an argument with a friend, a colleague, your spouse. And really visualize yourself from outside. See yourself in the argument. See yourself arguing. See yourself getting all red and tensed and sweaty. And then suddenly stop. The whole scene freezes like in a movie. You're the only one that is still able to move, but everybody else is frozen. Now look around and ask yourself this very question. What is actually great about this situation that I'm not seeing right now? Some situations might be harder than others, but for example, if you're having a fight with your spouse, well, the great situation is that you have a spouse, that you have someone you love that loves you in return, and you're just having an argument, which is perfectly normal. But you're able to check out what is great about this situation that you might not be seeing in the moment where you're in this altercation, if I can call it such. So what I said before, some situations might be harder than others. So it really depends on that challenge that you are facing. And if this is the case, then make an extra effort. Be creative. What is great about the situation that I'm not seeing right now? Say it out loud and then take note of it. See it. Feel it. Put some emotion into it. And then the scene starts again. Everybody starts moving. Everybody unfroze. And ask yourself this question. How will this have an impact on your response? How does it feel? How different do you feel having decided, having answered that question? What is great about the situation that I'm not seeing right now? And let's jump to our affirmations now. Please repeat out loud. Number 1, I am grateful to be where I am today, even if this is only a starting point. Number 2, I am grateful I have space to improve. Next up, I am grateful to myself for giving myself time to grow. I am loved and I love back. I have the ability to respond adequately to any event that comes my way. I do not blame others. I do not blame myself. I take action. And on that note, let's start our meditation. Let's get started with a nice deep breath. In through the nose, nice and gentle, nice and smooth, nice and slow and deep. And out through the mouth with a slight relief. In through the nose, nice and slow. And out through the mouth. Make a little sigh when you exhale, and remember that each exhalation is an opportunity to relax more and more. In through the nose and exhaling the tensions out of your body. Today we're going to be doing a mindfulness exercise, and to do so, we are going to imagine each part of our body, at least a few parts of our body, and we release the tensions in that body part. So you will have to really feel that body part and feel it relaxing more and more. Let's start with our foreheads now. Concentrate, focus on your forehead, on the skin of your forehead. Imagine it, and when you do so, in through the nose, breathe in, and on the exhalation, relax the muscles on your forehead, making it smooth, making the skin soft and relaxed more and more. Again, in through the nose, nice and slow, and on the exhalation, relaxing your forehead muscles and your skin. In the process, you can feel that your eyes are also relaxing and getting smoothed out. Going down now to your jaw. The jaw holds a lot of tension. This is very common, so let's take a few nice deep breaths, putting your focus on your jaw. And when you inhale, nice and deep through the nose and out through the mouth, releasing all tension, all stress in your jaw, relaxing it more and more. While relaxing your jaw, notice your tongue relaxing also. The combination of the two relaxes your neck, because everything in our body is connected. Keep your focus on your jaw and continue relaxing it, releasing the tensions and stress each time you exhalate, at each exhalation with a sigh. In through the nose, slow, and out, with the tensions out, the stress out. Put your focus now at the back of your neck. In through the nose, nice and slow, and on the exhalation, releasing tension. Do it a few more times now. Next up, we're going to put our focus on our left shoulder. We will do the same thing, in through the nose, nice and deep and slow. And on the exhalation, the shoulder goes down, the tension goes out. It is relaxing more and more. Do it one more time, in through the nose. And on the exhalation, relaxing that left shoulder. Let's be mindful of our right shoulder now and feel the difference between both shoulders. You are mindful of what part of the body you are focusing on. In through the nose, releasing the tension through the mouth with a sigh. Stress out, tensions out, shoulder down. What I want you to do now is to alternate left shoulder, right shoulder. One breath each, 5 times. Take your time now. Now that you are used to the exercise, I want you to scan through your body by yourself and release the tensions anywhere you choose. We've done it for our necks and jaws and forehead and shoulders. Continue going down, releasing the tension in your chest maybe, or in your solar plexus where a lot of stress resides. Take your time, and if you do lose focus, don't worry, just focus back. Put your mind back to a part of your body where you want to eliminate tension, where you want to eliminate stress, where you wish to relax now. Very good. And whenever you are ready, let's take one nice last deep breath in through the nose. And on this exhalation, gently open your eyes, put a smile on your face. Get reacquainted to your environment around you, to the lights and shadows and shapes and sounds and smells. And whenever you're ready, you can go and hit the day. And now you are ready, you're all pumped up. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. The theme was to take responsibility, your ability to respond to events. This is so important. Once you practiced that, it will change the rest of your life, guaranteed. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please put a thumbs up. If you've not done so already, please subscribe to the channel. If you wish to buy me a cup of coffee, I would really appreciate. You can do so in the links down in the description or in the show notes of this podcast. And also you will find ways to reach me if you want to just say hello or ask questions. And of course, ways to get our free worksheets. Those are very important, very useful. Take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.